Hello and welcome to another instructional video of the MiSTer FPGA system, this time the Spectrum, the ZX Spectrum core, and how to set that up. This one's pretty simple. Just make sure, again, you've done update all. I've said this before, but if you haven't watched that, any of my other videos, then make sure you update all. You haven't heard that before, so make sure you update all. Um, check the other videos. I'll put some links and stuff in the description on all this stuff. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and show you, where to get your games, games to check out, some places to find new games, what have you, and go from there. And then it's copying over the games and then loading them up. It's going to be hopefully pretty simple. So let's see. First of all, for some hints, there is this wonderful sort of cheat sheet post. Right here is the ZX Spectrum portion of it. That was done by Al Anonymous up on the MiSTer FPGA forums. I will post that in the links below in the description. And then here is the basic README file from the MiSTer project for the ZX Spectrum. There are quite a lot of instructions here, so it is important to uh, go through that if you want more further details. If you just want to play the games, or if you're having problems with them and stuff like that, you can see, sometimes extra tips, or if you want to do other fancy stuff, you want to explore the system and how it was, you know, that's some good stuff to explore how the system worked. Obviously, you don't get the old, keyboard system as it is. You have to have, a modern keyboard and all that sort of fun stuff, but if you're looking for that, ideally you get a Spectrum Next or the what's the new Spectrum or whatever they called it. It's the ZX Spectrum or something that just came out. I don't know, some months ago. But those are also really neat, and and they have the form factor, and if you're really into that, that gives it a little advantage over um, the MiSTer. But we do have a core for the ZX Spectrum Next as well, but that's a topic for another episode. Okay, so there's that. There's the instructions. Now, if you want to get games, where can you get them? There's a few ways you can do it. You can do a search to see like what sort of like if anyone's made any packs and uploaded them somewhere for MiSTer configure MiSTer compatible with MiSTer, that sort of thing. Most of them are compatible anyway, but if someone's made one, where you can get one, you can do a search and just kind of find stuff. I found some stuff which I don't know if it's available anymore. I don't know where to get it, and I'm not going to leave a link for that anyway. I'll just do a search. I did find this one here. Where did I put it? That's called like the 100 best games. I'll give you the exact name in just a moment here, if I can. Where did I put it? Oh yeah, ZX Spectrum Top 100. So if you do a search for ZX Spectrum Top 100, you'll find something, right? And there'll be a thing you can download, get a bunch of games. It's Top 100, so that's supposed to be good. I have it here. I'll be transferring it. I'll show you when I'm transferring it. What it looks like and that sort of thing. So if you could do a search for that and find it. If you just want a pack of whatever's, if there's certain games you're looking for, one of the best places is Spectrum Computing. They have a lot of games. They have a lot of newer ones because people are still making homebrews and stuff for the system. Mostly people in emulators and with the MiSTer system and what have you would use them. So you can do searches here. I think they have something like 30,000 games listed here. Um, some of them. This is a legit site. You can go there. I'll put a link in the description. Um, they don't have stuff if the uh, publishers are still selling them or that sort of thing. They won't have them online, so you can't get the stuff by um, well, that's by Rare. It was just to be Ultimate Play the Game did a bunch of stuff, and they became Rare, and then they got bought by Microsoft. So those stuff you can't. You gotta search for those on your own, or maybe you have them from somewhere else, or if you have a copy from back in the day or something like that, you know, you if you have a way to make a backup of that into a format, a digital format on a computer, that sort of thing. I don't have the equipment for that, so I can't show you how to do that. But if you know how to do it, great. You could do that, wherever. So I can't link you those, but um, that's that. So I'll link you this site. There's also World of Spectrum, which has a similar sort of thing. I think this is the one, the worldofspectrum.org. I think is the one that has stuff. I haven't really looked. They have well, that's 200 megabytes available of stuff. And there's also a worldofspectrum.net, which is not related to it. But I think the worldofspectrum.org is the more one that people talk about when they talk about that one. Um, Maybe I'll leave links to all three. So those are some good places to go. Or if you're curious as to what games are good or interesting, or if you want to see some gameplay, there is a YouTube channel I would recommend, and Jenkin, and you can look at his videos. He has over 1,000 videos of ZX Spectrum games, and he does, like, every Wednesday he does a new video on the homebrew ZX Spectrum games, so the newer ones. And some of those are really amazing because the computer's been around a long time. People really understand how to get the most out of it, and they can create some really really amazing and interesting games. And some of those are better than the ones, the big commercial games back in the day. So I would recommend checking his channel out. I'll leave a link in the description for that, and that'll help you explore them. Like if you heard of a game but you want to see what it looks like, you can see it be played, have listen to some fun banter as he explores the games. I would recommend that for looking at the games. So let's say you have your games and you have your ZX Spectrum Top 100, a few other games you want to play. So how do you copy them over the MiSTer? Well, I'm going to use WinSCP, and I'm going to log into it. This IP may be different in yours. There's a place on the MiSTer itself where you can look up what the IP is. The default username is root, or the root username for that's your master administrative username. And the password, the default password is just the number 1. So this IP may vary, so you'll have to see what that is, and I'll show you that in a moment when we log into it, when I switch over. So not when we log into it, but when I'm actually running, controlling it with the controller and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so I'm connected into it. Now, here's where you want to put the games. MediaFat Games Spectrum. It goes in there. And then this is just my place where I put some MiSTer files for the purpose of the video. So here's my ZX Spectrum folder with all the stuff. Here's my top 100. So I'm going to put my top 100 folder in here. And we'll see how long this is going to take. I'm not sure. Oh, it says about a minute, so it shouldn't be too long. It's just 100 games. It's not that big. I think it's like 500 meg or something. I think it said. So hopefully I can think of something to say for a minute, right? Well, that goes. Maybe I should edit down the loading times, huh? Yeah, so I'll do that. I'll just pause for just a moment while this finishes. It'll just take a moment, but you don't need to see the whole thing. And we're done. That was about a minute. So the one I've done here is the ZX Spectrum Top 100 no docs. There's documentation so you can actually look at the instructions and whatnot, but you don't really need to copy those over to the MiSTer. You can, and you can read them on the MiSTer, but I've tried like viewing PDF files and stuff, and especially when you're running it inside the um, game, like in the core, and you're running a game or something, it tends to lock up occasionally where you can't get the on-screen display to come up. The button quits working for me when I do it, so I don't recommend copying over to the MiSTer itself, but you can have those on file. So I just unzipped it, put them in this folder, copied that folder over. I'm going to copy over these other two. This is some old stuff that I've had before that I was collecting when I was just tinkering around. So I will upload that. This should not take quite as long at all. Just a couple seconds. They're done. And here's some other files that I made. I'm not sure which all these are. It's been a while since been a few months since I played with them, so I can't remember which is which, but I'll try and show you maybe one of those. And then here's a big one. This is 400 meg, about 400 something meg. So this will take a little while to copy. I'll copy this one over to. I should have enough room still. If I don't, that'll be a problem, but we'll find out. I didn't double check. You know, doing this off the cuff, the prep live sort of thing. All right, yeah, it looks like it's going to take about a minute. I think that other one was about 500 meg, so this is approximately similar. But there are different files in there. I just want to show you how they all work. I don't know if you can find that collection or not. I don't even know what it's called, so I don't know how you'd find it. But there are probably some other collections. I don't know. I know there are some like different sort of ROM set collections out there. And I don't know which one does the ZX Spectrum. Some of them do, some of them don't. But like there's no intro set, and it's like 2sec or something, and stuff like that. So there's a whole bunch of those. Anyway, I will pause again while we let this upload. It's going to take a couple minutes, and I'll be right back. All right, that's done. I'm going to switch over to the MiSTer side because I have everything done over here. I might recommend putting these files are put in here already. So I'm going to, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a little folder here. Let's see. I create a new folder, directory, game. I'll call it game files. And I'm just going to put all these in there. Just to keep it a little bit clean, because this is stuff that came with it, like the boot ROM, and this is some sort of disk image. But normally you can have all your games here, but I don't know, maybe it's an OCD thing, but that's what I'm doing. I'm going to put them in there. Okay, so I'll see ya on the MiSTer side, just a moment. And we're back on the MiSTer side here. Well, I guess not back in this video. This is the first time on the MiSTer side so far in the video. And here's where we get to the to see what the IP is. So you can hit the back button, whichever one you've configured for back. If you want to see the original one, it just kind of sets stuff up. But you can remap your joystick buttons and such. So that's why I just say it's the back button. And then go to the left. See, there's a left arrow there. Left. You don't have to be down on that though. You can just, oh yeah, you do for that one. But if you're up here, you can do it anyway. And there's your IP address, 192.168.0.105 or 192.168.0.105. Anyway, that's your IP. It could be different, so check yours to see what it comes up as. Hopefully, it'll stay the same for you to make it easy for connecting at later times to put stuff on it. But that's how you find it. And so we're going to go to the computer section because the ZX Spectrum is a computer, and we're going to scroll down, and this is under ZX Spectrum. For some reason, you put the files in the folder called Spectrum and not ZX Spectrum, and this is under ZX for the program itself. It's a little confusing, but that's just the way they did it. All right, let's start this up, and I'm going to show you some of the basic stuff. You got your tape loader, 128K basic, 48K basic, TR-DOS calculator. So all that stuff this is the 128K version, I believe. Maybe even the 3 Plus. I'm not sure of the OS. But at least does 128K stuff. And you need the keyboard for this, and you have to down arrow to select these things here. So oftentimes I'll go into basic and just load stuff. There's a shortcut key. I think F10 will just automatically load something. We'll load a tape. So what we're going to do is we're going to load, we're going to do tape images. I'm familiar with most of the stuff you find, especially if you're getting it on spectrumcomputing.co.uk. You're going to have, there's going to be either TAP or TZX files, right? Which is it either stands for tape of ZX Spectrum type or tape of zipped. It's compressed. I believe it's just a slightly different tape format that is compressed and smaller, I believe. All right, so it doesn't really matter. They both work. If you want to learn about the details, you can go look at the details. So we're going to go into our game files, and then I'm going to look at these, the no doc. It's the ZX Spectrum Top 100 no doc. So you can do a search for that to get, a top 100 games. That's good. Or, if you're interested in other ones, because obviously that's somewhat subjective, as, you may like other games that aren't in there and vice versa. And people come out with new games all the time with the homebrew scene. So you can just stick them in here. I got a bunch that I put in this old stuff directory, which maybe I'll show you that in a moment. I'm going to go through, what do I actually want to, did I want to load something on this one? I can't remember now. I know, I ramble, and I'll say Bruce Lee. Let's try Bruce Lee. Okay, so, there's a fixed one, there's a TCX and a tip. So you hit the button there, and then you hit, I think if you hit F10, yeah, it loads it up. See, there you go. Probably gotta hit a key or something. Yeah. So let's go to Kempston. So if I hit C, it goes to Kempston. There you go. All right, enter to begin game, enter. And here we go. And then, yes, joystick is working. Let's see, got punch. I don't remember. Oh, and up is jump, of course. Apparently there's a 2-player version, though. Oh, maybe it's, I don't know. Which, this will be nice because I played this on, I don't know if I'm getting hit or not here. I played this on the Commodore 64 video, so you can look at that. It's in the thumbnail, so it should be obvious which one it is. But if you are interested in, contrasting and comparing, for example. So mostly going to be about loading the game, or how to load the games here. So can I get across? No, yes, no. I can get up here. Up, there we go. Maybe I get past level 1. I'm not going to go super far, is what I'm trying to say. In this, because I want to show you how to load games, not so much me playing the games, although I do have fun with it, so I'm going to do it. Ow. Falls 4, I don't know what that means. That I have died 4 times, or have I been knocked out 4 times? Knocked down 4 times. Whee! Alright, let's go over here. And then maybe that'll open up. No, there's more. No? Oh, there's more screens over to the other side. Okay. Jump. Jump. Run away! Ah! Ah! Up to jump, guys. Up to jump. Oh. I see. I was blocked by the... That makes sense. There. Not that hard. There's probably another screen. Yeah, there's another screen. This is it. Can he do it? Does anyone care? The answer to both is probably no. The answer to one of them is probably no, at least. If anyone cares. Oh! Or maybe one guy cares. I can't jump off the ladder, huh? Can I fall down here? Yeah, there we go. Oh, I think I can do it. There. I have to go up. Oh! Maybe not. I think I could do it if I would stop dying. Oh, there we go. Alright, we'll go this way. Hooah! And it's open. Ta-da! It's a success. Alright, so Bruce Lee works. Okay, so now we're going to do a TZX file. I'm going to do UN Squadron. I've loaded it up, hitting F10. This isn't the very good version of UN Squadron, I don't think, but I just wanted to do it for demonstration purposes. The reason I'm doing this one actually is this was the first game that made me set up this core on the MiSTer, because there was this game and I wanted to try out all the different versions I could of this game. And there was a ZX Spectrum version, so I wanted to try it. All right, let's go to Kempston joystick. Do it twice for good measure. Gonna hit C to no, I did C. We'll do it third time then. Yeah, see, it's like that. All right, we're gonna do, let's add spacebar. Yeah, add credits and 1 for 1 player start. And it seems to be working properly here. Hitting the button to start. Fighting in this area is ferocious. Give me the infos on the guys. The guy. Did I not? Why does it give me the? Did it? Something happened. That's odd. I must have hit the something else. Hang on. Come on. Just make absolutely sure that this is set correctly. Starting up. That was weird. All right, now it's loading. Yeah, it went back. I don't know what happened. That was weird. Hit a different button. I'm guessing it must have been in the demo and not actually picking the guy. I don't need anything right now. Oh, cool. Rockets. Oh, yeah. They last for like half a second. There they go. The shooting is very not responsive to me pressing the button. And I'm like, I think I can't even see the bullets because they're the same color. Like that one just ran into me. I did see that one, and it's game over. So yeah, that's how good that is. I don't remember it being quite that hard when I first tried it out, but I just wanted to see it. And there you go. I mean, that's a TZX file, okay? And fast tape load, I have on so it's quite quickly. Normally I have tape sound off, but I just left it on for to demonstrate. That's the default. I'm going to turn it off though because it's not normally fun to listen to that. And that's pretty much all you have. I'm going to save my settings. So that stays like that. And this is normally how I do it. There are certain games where I have to have fast tape load off though. Like I have this copy of Dragon Spirit. And it will load, right, with the, let's see if it actually loads correctly. Yeah, good. It'll load with the fast tape load on. Yeah. But the problem is when you get into the game, it's still doing this loading in the background, and you can hear it too if you have this audio on. And that what it is when it's loading the tape, it just accelerates the computer, right? The sort of emulation of it. And so when you get into the game, it goes super fast. So I'll have to turn this off. And then you can't play it because it's too fast. So you have to load it. And then so this is this. I think I hit enter. Yeah, this is normal. And I'll just for demonstration purposes, I'll turn on the fast tape load. And it goes really, really fast, see? So you don't want that for this game. So you gotta be careful about things like that. There are certain tweaks and problems of certain games. I can't go through every single game because there are like tens of thousands of games. Some of the more recent ones are simply designed for ease of loading rather than old ones back in the day. So I'm gonna do 2 for Kempston, and I will and then fire to start. Yeah, okay. So I can press fire on the space. Space will work. No, come on. Why is it not working now? There you go. All right. Press play on tape, and I believe that's F2. No, maybe that's rewind. Found level 3, rewind tape, and press a key. Okay, so press a key. Found level 1. So that went pretty smoothly. I did hit F2, so I think that does the rewind. So you have to remember to hit F2, otherwise it goes forward and it finds like the levels that aren't level 1. But this is one that kind of is continually doing it. And the way I have it, I don't have, I know some of these you can change the config to support a second button on the controller. So the button here is the regular shot, and then the space bar is this bomb sort of shot. So that's kind of a problem, you know, with having a, if you want to bomb and you're using the keyboard, and then you got to reach over with the other hand or whatever, and then you can't control, or however you do it, you know, it makes it more complicated and tricky to control. So I think there is an option for setting that, which I should probably check and show you how to do that. So maybe I will if I, as soon as I die here, I think. Let's just die. There. Okay, so here's how you remap that. So if you go here, in the thing, notice I have fast tape load off for this game. You go into button key remap. What I'm going to do first is clear it, so I have nothing set from before. All right, so button key remap. So what you want to do is you do, so I'm going to press the, what I call button 2, what I've set as button 2, and then I'm going to hit spacebar, right? And then I'm going to hit enter to finish, and it's going to finish it out. And then I'm going to go back out, and then I'm going to go play the game. I'm going to do select 2 for Kempston, and then fire to start. Then I'm going to hit F2 to rewind. And then I'm going to press a key, and it's going to find level 1. Oh, not it found level 0. Oh, whatever. It worked. That was weird. All right, so now I'm pressing button 1 for this and button 2 for that. So it does work. That's how you remap it. It's just a little bit odd because you're really mapping the keyboard to the joystick and not the other way around, but you have to press the joystick first. It's kind of weird. Or actually, technically, I'm mapping the, what I'm mapping is I press the joystick button and it actually is pressing the keyboard button, you know, into the system. But that's how it works. That's how you remap it. So you can do that for, you know, several games, especially if there's like 1 or 2, or you got some extra buttons and that, you know, certain, you know, key commands that you have up to however many buttons you have on your controller, you can remap. And it should work. So I'm going to play this a little bit and die. Okay, TRD files now. So we've got this set up. So we're going to load our TRD file, which is going to be survivisection.trd. That's one I have. And then we go down to TRDOS, and it'll load up. You have to have the image in there that has the TRDOS on it, I think, before it'll work. And then you got to type R, and it does run, R for run, and then enter. It types the whole run out. You don't have to type RUN. Let's go through the intro and listen to the music. It's pretty good. wanted to highlight that music a little bit. It was pretty good. Probably get a content match for it or whatever, but who cares? I'm not monetized anyway. At least not now. If I am later, whatever. They can have money. I'm doing this for you guys, for the instructions, not for money. Anyway, so this is a mouse game. So I have the mouse connected, but I haven't turned it on. By default, it's disabled. So there. Now it works. So make sure you have a mouse if you want to play this one. So new game. I'll just show you the game a little bit. It is... It's like an RTS, really. Button. Oh, right, there you go. Da 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 da. The mouse like that far. Why is the mouse only going up that far? That's weird. Did I not calibrate it correctly? Anyway. Now it will work? No. Huh. Weird. I don't know if I didn't calibrate the mouse. It doesn't normally have to be calibrated. Oh, there it goes. Sometimes the... It's working now. Oh, it's odd. It implied that having the Kempson joystick enabled would crash the game, but it doesn't seem to be actually doing that. So that's how you shoot with the left mouse button. The way I have it set, I think just reverse it. And then you move with the right mouse button. So you can't go into the water. Great music. It's worth it just for the music, really, but the gameplay, I think, is pretty good. I haven't played it too much. It's like hard, I think. Well, I don't know. Actually, no. It's pretty in depth, maybe. I don't know. Oh, why am I shooting? Wait. Okay. Small hill in front of the radio. I heard a crack, and then the muffled voices of several people go straight at me. Well, you bastards! Now you get me. Can I shoot some people? I want to shoot some stuff. You know. Here. But it's very RTS-like, you know. Where's this guy? There we go. There, I shot a guy. Yay. It's like some ammo or something. Yeah. There's some bullets, I think, out of that. My mouse is a little touchy there, so it keeps hitting the right instead of the left. Okay, nothing here that I see. So I'm gonna go in the cave. As long as he sees a path, he can follow it. This is pretty advanced stuff. Can I go through here, or is the... okay, so I gotta go around, I guess. See if I can get in the cave. That'll be my goal, huh? Yeah, it looks like we can get around this way. Stop shooting. Oh, some guy was shooting from... Oh, those guys were shooting me. Alright, game over. Well, there you go. That is that one. So I think we'll do another type of loading. Just a moment. Okay, now we're going to try to do a DSK file. So first, for the DSK file, what we want is the hardware. We have to go in and change this to the +2a +3 and reset and apply. So it'll look a little different now. Right. So now we want to go in and load in the DSK file, which was up here, I think. Yeah, SM Marine Corps disk. So we're going to do that. And then, is it enter? Loader. Yes, there you go. And that loads up. So there's Astro Marine Corps 1 and 2. So it just that gives you your options. So press 1 for this one. Hopefully the sound, there's sound that'll work. Maybe I just press a button. Yeah, there we go. All right, it's working. This one's in Spanish. So if I hit 3, I can change to Kempson. And then 1 to play. Think. Did not work. Alright, well, we gotta redo this then. Oh, yeah, it's the joystick, not on Kempson. That was my fault from before. Okay. Turned it off from the previous game with the mouse. Alright, now, if I go here, I get eaten! Gromp, gromp. What I had, 8 lives there maybe? I don't know. Some sort of time limit. Jump. This is a very nice looking game, no? I think. I got a 3-way shot thing going. That's pretty cool. Gonna jump over that, otherwise we fall down and go blub blub blub. Some more E. Got the E. Nice music. ZX Spectrum music tends to remind me of, there I got that zone 1 of that area. Past the intro zone. I think there's something I don't see up here. Somewhere. 3 ways really good to use that. Like that room there. There, I got 8. It reminds me of Atari Lynx music for some reason. I don't know why. I don't think they use the same hardware for the audio. But they must use some sort of similar hardware, is my guess. Jump over those guys now. Whoops. Yeah, 7 lives now. I don't think I'm going to go through all the lives. This is just show you how to load the game. Maybe a little play. Is that 6 lives? 5? Yeah, okay, so it's... Every time I get touched... I don't even remember where that thing that hate me was. Right here. Oh, yeah. I got past that. I fall down the hole and get eaten! And the bones come out. That's pretty cool. Game over. Alright. So that is that game. Okay, now we're going to try a Z80 snapshot file. See if I remember how to do that. So let's see, hardware, all the normal settings. We are going to load, whoops. Come on, all right, load Z80 snapshot, go to the game files. I'm gonna go into this one and I'm gonna load this Deviants game. Yeah, and this just loads right up. That's easy peasy, loads right up. Let's see. Redefine keys. This might be a keyboard only one. This particular game. No, I don't think it is. I think it's just already set. Oops. All right. Yeah, yeah. All right. So this is this game, and it works. It's just you just load that up. Now, one of the things I'm gonna, well, I'll tell you in a minute. So I'm just gonna play this a little bit. And those little spinny things are like some sort of teleport, I think. Bombs arm 0, and then you gotta go here. So, ammo or something. Keep going. I know there's a energy refresh station coming up here, I think. There. Score going up. Yeah, here's the energy refresh station. Whoop. There. See, now I'm at 200. Oh, yeah, ammo. Can't use too much ammo here. Heal up again. 73. All right. So I have to do something here, and I don't remember. This is a puzzle. So if I go like 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that switches those. And I blew up because I didn't know how to do the little thing. So that is that game, and that's how you load it. That's how you load a Z80 snapshot file. Okay, one of the things that the snapshot allows us to do is use pokes on the MiSTer. So what a poke is it's a technical term where you're putting a certain value into certain register, certain memory address, right? And by thus setting that, by poking the value into it, you can override whatever settings are in that game normally, and you get like infinite lives and invincibility and all sorts of stuff like that. So you'll have to look up and see what pokes you can put in. But here's how you put a poke in. I'm using the emulator Fuse. I'm going to go ahead and for demonstration purposes, I'm going to load Jetpac. And we'll see if that was too loud or not. And so for this, I will show you how it works normally. So we're going to go and we're going to use, I'm going to use keyboard for this purpose. And I'm just going to start the game. 5. And I don't think I have the keyboard set up correctly. Oh, they're shooting. Yeah, okay. So I died. I have 3 lives left. 2, 1, 0. Last life. Okay, game over, right? So what we can do here is we can put a poke in. Poke memory. And I have found the poke files, or the a poke file that tells me which one. So I'm going to use infinite lives. I'm going to use 8, bank 8, address 25014, value 0, add. That will add that in there. Okay. And now I'm going to start the game. And you'll notice it says 5 lives. And it still says 5 lives even though I've died. So this will continue infinitely and so on. Now, what you want to do is to save that over so you can use it on the MiSTer. You're going to want to make a snapshot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reopen this so it'll start at the beginning of the game, not in the middle. I'm going to put my poke in. Poke memory. So once again, 8, 25014, 0. Add. Okay. And now I'm going to save it. Save snapshot. And I'm going to save it with, I'm going to save it as Jetpac infinite lives dot z80. And I don't know if I need to select this, but I'm gonna select this. Save. Now it gives me a warning. It says some of the information is lost and conversion may not work. It turns out that it does work. So that's saved. Now what I could do is I could reopen this snapshot, start the game, just for demonstration purposes, and see how I still have 5 lives. So that's stuck there at that. So then what we're going to do is we're going to copy that file over to the MiSTer, and we can load that up. So I will show you that in just a moment. Okay, now back on the MiSTer, I'm going to load this snapshot. Here's the Jetpac Infinite Lives from before. I'm going to load this up, and we can actually change this now if we want. I just didn't know that if I had the joystick set up correctly. I didn't have the joystick configured for my PC at the time for using with Fuse. So I'm going to use Kempson joystick, start the game, so now I can actually use the joystick. And you will see I have 5 lives. I die, I still have 5 lives. You want to save it as a separate file because in case you want to have one that doesn't have that poke applied, you have to use that. You can't save it as a TAP file. You can with Fuse, and Fuse will load that TAP file correctly as a snapshot, but MiSTer won't. It tries to load that as a real tape, and it fails. So just save it as a Z80 snapshot, load it up again, and you got infinite lives. Let's see. Yeah, that's gonna work. Yeah. Oh. Nuclear bomb. There. I need this. Fuel. Oh yeah, you gotta fill up the fuel. So we'll just do this. It's easy peasy because I have infinite lives and, not really much challenge now, but that's okay. This is just for demonstration of that you can do this. Oops. I actually died there. It does kill you when you die, It's just you don't lose the lives. Or run out of lives. You're down. Oh, see, and I got an extra life now for going up, so it's gonna stay 6 forever, I guess. And that's it. And then the next level. So that's how that works with pokes. Okay, here's how you load an MGT file. You go in, you load the disk. I'm gonna back out here. All right, so you're in Spectrum. Here's my game files. I have it under this one. I'm just gonna load this Agatha's Folly. All right, and then you do that, and then you can go into 128 Basic, and then you type cat1 once it's loaded, and it gives you this little thing. And what you want is, in order to load a program, you can type load p whatever the file was, which is 1, which is the loader, and that should load it up. Please select which part you want to play, 1 or 2. There you go, and it's loaded up. I believe this is a text adventure, so I'm not going to go very much into it. I'll just show you that's how you load that one up. Okay, so we have one more file type for the ZX Spectrum, and that is the classic type-in. Back in the day, they used to run small basic programs that you could in magazines that you could type in yourself into your computer and then have a little game to play. it was, you know, one of the like bonus fun things that you know, it was one of the things that the magazine did. They had people creating them, or they had people submitting them, or what have you, and it was a lot of fun. And this existed for Commodore 64, um, and like IBM PC Basic, and you know, whatever other basics that were out there that you could type them in. So also the ZX Spectrum. Now recently, um, some people have been making their own type-ins. Um, a guy that goes by Animated Alex on YouTube and on itch.io has been making some of his own, and he submitted some, or he submitted one to a new like e-magazine that's been uh, out since in 2025. They're called Breakspace, and you can get those. I'll leave a link to Alex's, you know, Animated Al. His I will leave a link to his YouTube channel, his itch.io channel, and also the magazine as well on itch.io, so you can check those out. I'll put all that in the description. And also there's um, Snorkers has been making some too. He's also featured in that same episode, issue 2 of Breakspace. So I guess I'll link him too. So there you have it with that. Now, how do I load these games in? Well, the problem with the MiSTer is it I have not found any sort of way where you could like record to tape like you could if you were normally saving it. So in BASIC, you can't like really save to an image file. It doesn't work as far as I can find out. You may be able to do something with the TR-DOS or the GDOS, those sorts of things. And it looks like there's some save functionality there. I will link that as well as far as how to do that. There's a posting on the MiSTer FPGA forums that may be useful for that. But what I do is I use a program called ZMakeBase. That's ZMakeBAS. I'll leave a link to where I got that from too. And what you can do is you can just put it into like Notepad or Notepad++ or whatever text type thing you have on Windows, and you run this program, and it will convert it into a basic program in tape format, and you can just copy that over and run it. Now I'm not gonna sit here and type it in and make you watch, but I will show you the result of that I have done. So here it is. I'm gonna load in the tape file. This is the one I think that came down. Either someone did it, or um, one that I got from the itch.io page, I think. So here is the Breakspace program, and then I am just gonna load it with the F10. It's loading up. I'm just gonna double check my settings here. Yeah, issue 2. All right. And press any key to play. And I'm pressing the keys that are supposed to be, but it's not working. Now, why isn't it working? Well, why it isn't working is because this default setting is issue 2. There's a little glitch in the system from back in the day where it changed the key scans once you do like an in key, like a reading in the keyboard thing. So you can change it to issue 3, and then those, it doesn't have that issue, and they stay constant, and then it works, and you can do these, you can do the directions, and they work. Now the other thing about that is I figured out how to fix that where it'll work either way. And so I made a slightly different program. Now let's see if I can break into this correctly. There we go. And not let, get this out. Load, list. There you go. And here is the program, as you can see. And the key here is look at line 50. Let x equal x plus in 57342 equals 190, and et cetera, right? So now I'm going to load in the one that I did, because I typed it in, you know, for fun. And I'm like, why isn't it working? Well, because I was in that um, issue 2 mode. So we're gonna load the one that I typed in, which is this one. and then we're going to hit F10. That's the easiest way to get it to read to load. And it's not actually running now. Run. All right. This should be the one that I did. Typed in. I'm going to double check the setting here. Yes, still issue 2. All right. Any key to play. And it works. Because I did a slightly different thing. So I'm going to break into the program, list it for you. And if you look here, where line 50 is, let x equal x plus in 57342 minus mask. What I did was I did a thing that detected which mode it was in, or which version it was, and then it adds an extra value in there. It will be either 0, if it's regular, or it'll be like whatever the amount was, I don't remember, to match it up so that it figures it out correctly. And that's it. And that's all I did. There's a little fix in there too, I think in line 20, that's a slight difference there, so that it correctly maps the colors. In case you had loaded a different basic game before that, that may mess up the color settings, and then you wouldn't die. So I kind of fix that as well. That's really it. That all there is to doing those sorts of things. That was just a little fun coding thing that I found out, and I just wanted to kind of show that off, and in case people were interested in that interesting little trivia, I guess, or tidbit, whatever you want to call it, about how the system works. I mean, the best fix is probably just change it to 3. But if you were trying to run this on an original ZX Spectrum, that was of that version, it wouldn't work unless you had it this way, or you changed it so that you didn't have to do the math since you knew which version it was. You just type in a different value for it there. But that's it. That's pretty much it. I don't think I have anything else to add. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. In fact, if this video was useful for you, I would like to know that does help motivate me making more. That people are actually using this. I do see that people are viewing them, which is great. If you like it and subscribe and all that, that's fun. If you want to see some more of these videos, but some comments would be great if you have the time to put them in. But I know people watch it and don't comment. It's like 10 to 1 or something like that, which is fine. But anyway, I do hope this was useful for you and interesting, and maybe you'll come back and watch another video. Thank you very much.